para celebrar.
Back for those plumbers that are about to take that plumbing test. So you have questions that look like this. What is 25% of 250? What is 25% of 300? They're always going to test you with 25% because that's a big number that we see in the world. 25% off, right? 25% credit. 25% discount. So 25% is a big number that you will be seeing on tests. So we know that 25% means 0.25, but it doesn't really help out here. What's important to know is what fraction. What fraction is 25%? Well, 25% of anything really means 1/4 of something. 1/4, okay? So why? Because 1 out of 4 quarters is 25% of that dollar. So 25% means 1/4. So what does that mean? That means that if you want to find 25% of anything, what does fraction mean? What does that little line mean? It means to divide, right? So if you divide that number by 4, if you divide this number by 4, it'll give you the 25% of that amount, which is 250. So 250, if we divide it by 4, I am hoping you're going to be able to use calculators. Let's pretend you are not. Let me show you long division. In a fraction, your top number, doesn't matter if it's big or small, your top number always goes inside of the box when you divide, and your bottom number, no matter what, always goes outside. So that means that if we're going to do a division, old school elementary box to divide, 250 goes inside, 4 goes outside. So then you ask yourself, how many times does 4 go into 2? 0 times, right? It doesn't fit. So now you need another number. How many times does 4 go into 25? Well, 4 times 6 is 24. So it'll fit 6 times. And 24, it goes under here. And you subtract that. 25 minus 24 is 1. You bring down this 0, right? How many times does 4 go into 10? So that's going to be 2 times because 4 times 2 is 8. So that's going to be 8 right here. You're going to subtract 10 minus 8. That's 2. So now you have no more numbers to carry down. But you want to continue because you have a remainder, right? So what you do is you add that invisible 0 that was always there. So you're really not adding anything because it was always there. It was just invisible. And we're going to add another 0, which we're not changing the amount. It's still 250. If we add that decimal and that 0, we're not changing the amount. We're keeping it the same. We're just using it so we can carry it down more numbers. So now how many times does 4 go into 20? 5 times. So that decimal, you must carry it to the top. So if you notice, it's going to be 62.4 times 5 is 20. So perfect. We got 0 remainder, which is what we wanted. So what is 25% of 250? 62.5. So this will be 62.5 because remember that invisible 0 on the front. We don't need it. So it's 62.5. That is 25% of 250. So now let's do the same thing for 300. If you divide it by 4, that's a rule, guys. Anytime you need 25% of something, divide it by 4 and it will give you 25% of that amount. So if we do the same thing, let me just erase it so I have more space. If we divide 300 divided by 4, remember your top number always goes inside no matter who's bigger or smaller. 4 goes into 3, 0 times. 4 goes into 30, 7 times because that's 28. We subtract that. That's going to give us 2, right? And then we're going to bring down this 0. That's 20. 4 goes into 20. 5 times. 20 minus the 20, 0. Bingo. We got 0 remainder. Our answer is 75. If you notice, there's no decimals because the decimal's in the back. So 300 divided by 4 is 75 wholes. There's no decimal unless you put it in the back, which means 75.0, which is the same thing as 75. You don't even need the decimal. So 25% of 300 is 75. So for example, if something was $300 and they were saying 25% discount, that means you're getting $75 off. So you really only pay $225 for it. So that's how that percentage works and how you need it. So if you're a plumber and you have a sale that day for 25% off and the bill for that person was $300, you got to give them 25% off, which means you got to give them $75 off. 25% off doesn't mean $25. It means 25% of that amount. And if that total was $300, you got to discount $75, so you only charge them $225, which is the same thing in this scenario. If their total was $250, you have to give them a 25% discount. That means you must give them a $62 with 50 cents. That 0.5 doesn't mean 5 cents. It means 50 cents. There's an invisible zero back here. So you have to give them that discount. So you subtract that from the total so you can charge them their actual amount. Oh, I hope I didn't say that much. I love to teach and I could just go on forever talking about all the little details that surrounds the whole thing. I'm sorry, guys. I love you guys. Arriba la vida. Let's continue more with some plumbing questions because I know you guys need a lot of help and your plumbing test is coming soon. So Mz LALA's got you. Don't worry. Subscribe. Arriba la vida.